Hey guys, Crew of Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Aaron.
And this morning before we started, we did a little bit of healing. Because last week, Aaron...
Oh, man.
What happened on The Last of Us?
Dude, we had to save Abby.
Yeah.
So that she could kill
She was
Joel.
in a dire situation.
It really sucks.
Helped her.
I saw, what did I see? Was it a comment? Was it a, I don't know what it was, but it was talking about how, like, I guess I didn't think about it at the time because I was just mad at what was going on, but the effects from, like, the first season or the first game, like, Joel and who he was would have never saved Abby. It's the experience and friendship and whatever between him and, Ellie. That I think changed him to where he saved Abby. Like, old Joel would have left her there.
Yeah.
But Joel with Ellie had evolved and saved the person that killed him, which really sucks.
And it's interesting, you're saying old Joel, but it's actually...
Young Joel?
Well, young Joel carries Sarah out and does whatever he can to protect her, and then when she dies, it takes him 20 years to get that feeling for anybody again.
Yeah.
You know? So Elliot gives that back to him. So he goes from that to who he is, then to that again, and then it's that gets him killed. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, it was a sad episode. I wish that Ellie and Joel could have gone out instead of it being Dina, yeah. But there's so much that time there where that I think the part that really bothered me is like there's so much time from what we have. It was 5 years, is that right? Since the last one?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know how separated, distraught, you know, like Ellie and Joel have been. But like there was so much time that like they could have talked, and it felt like Joel was trying to reach out, and they just weren't connecting anymore. And now there's no time left. You know,
it's almost comforting that even in the zombie apocalypse, you can think you have more time than you actually do.
Sure.
You know, because I think about that a lot with relationships I have or have had, and been like, man, yeah, I wish I had more time there. So if anything, it just makes you think like I should appreciate the ones that I have now.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
For sure. Good news is the town survived the storm of the. Yep. Well, there was a storm, but also the infected that showed up from the ground, like popping out like daisies, and they survived that. They lost a lot of people, but
they did.
Hell yeah, dogs.
Hell yeah, dogs. Good dogs, good boys. I just let myself die sometimes when dogs attack me in The Last of Us. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm just dead. I'm not gonna kill him.
Kill the dogs.
No, I give him a chance first. I throw stuff at him. Get out of here! Don't come back.
Fetch.
I do that. I try to run away and hide from him. I don't want to kill the dogs. The people can reason. The dogs are just trained that way. But anyway, the trained dogs were trained the way that I like. So good job, dogs.
I think I blacked out at the end of the last conversation and stuff too. But
yeah, you were.
Did we have a poll?
We had a poll, my friend.
I don't remember if we had a poll, and I don't remember what it was.
The poll was, how did you learn of that character's death? Let's see. 6% of people said through the TV show.
Oh, so they didn't know about it, huh?
Mm-hmm. So you can count yourself among one of those. 35% through leaks and spoilers.
Dang, man, that sucks.
35%.
I would hate to have my experience of, like, I don't know, any character death that I like really enjoy to be like, let me read, not like a book, you know, but just someone like noting out like, here's everything that's gonna happen in something, and it's like, here's a bullet point, like this happens, here's a bullet point, Joel dies, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and if you're not giving the storyteller that grace of not knowing what happens next, then that's gonna mess up.
I hated Walking Dead spoiler.
I know, man.
Someone just was like, "You like Little Debbie's?" And I'm like, "Oh man, yeah. Remember when these were in your lunch?" I'm like, "Oh, those are so good." Remember when this was in your lunch? Yeah. Hey, this guy dies. Like, what? Why? I hate you, Little Debbie. Now it's tainting my Little Debbie. No, I still eat Little Debbie, but I stopped watching Walking Dead for a while.
I stopped eating them for him.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, not because I got diabetes. And then let's see, 58% through the story of the game. Let's look at some of the responses. I watched Critical Role, and I knew that Laura Bailey had received death threats for her portrayal of Abby. And just through cultural zeitgeist, I learned that she had killed a lot of people's favorite character. But at that time, none of it made any sense, so I just forgot about it until watching this, I guess. So, come on, all right.
I had heard, so the only thing I remember knowing about the game was that there was a character, which I assume was Abby. I didn't know what her name was. Voiced by Laura Bailey, and I think that she was like real buff, like real strong, and she got death threats and people hated her and all that kind of stuff. I guess I assumed that it was like, it's too woke, and she's too masculine and strong, and that's what I assumed it was. I didn't know it was gonna be like, no, they killed someone in the game.
Yeah. I got spoiled right before getting ready to watch the episode. Such is the life. Okay.
Such is life. Dang, that sucks. Sorry.
Unavoidable leaks. If you were even remotely interested in The Last of Us, it popped up on something, whether it was YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, etc.
I really get frustrated with leaks, because like the ones that pop up the most for me, because like I do a lot of Pokemon stuff, and there's like people who are like, I don't know, I guess they're like trying to hack into Nintendo and data mine and all that stuff too, and get information on the Pokemon games and stuff, and I'm like, why? Just wait until it comes out and then just play it.
Sure. A lot of the stuff that I let onto my feed is stuff that's like ended, and sometimes something can sneak in that way. Like, you know, watch an episode, you know, there's like a Supernatural page that I follow or something. Like, Supernatural's fine, it's been gone forever, you know? But it'll have like something about the boys. Like, oh shit, you know? Well,
Eric Kripke, right?
Yeah, and I just throw that off the into the ocean, you know, never to go back again.
Yeah.
I get one chance. No spoilers, but I understand sometimes something so big, you literally have to cut yourself off to avoid it, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess we were all cut off a long time ago without the internet, right? It just, you didn't have to worry about that stuff back then.
I got spoiled in a YouTube comment section. It was sad because I managed to stay spoiler-free all those years ago and go into Season 1 completely blind.
Dang.
So to have this huge twist ruined for me before Season 2 premiered really sucked.
I'm sorry.
I do think it gave me a lot of time to process the death before it even happened, so I wasn't as distraught. I was more just anxiously waiting for it and trying to analyze Abby's emotions and understand where she was coming from. I don't agree with what she did, but I definitely empathize. She's been stuck in her training for 5 years, or her trauma for 5 years, just like Joel was stuck in his trauma for 20.
Sure. No, I thought about saying that too, and I'm like, no. I was like, yeah. Probably diminished and made it a little less so it didn't, like, you were ready for it, but...
But I understand what they mean about waiting for that proverbial axe to fall. Because for a whole first episode, because, you know, we're saving it, you know, so that Aaron doesn't know, but the whole first episode I'm sitting here like, oh, fuck, okay, it didn't happen, oh, God. Oh, shit, you know? Okay, and then the second episode, I'm like, oh, my, there's so much time still left, though. And then it, like, kept going, and then we were going up the hill with Abby, and I'm like, it's gonna happen then. So there's a point where you can kind of see me just kind of sit back and be like, fuck. And then it took like 25 more minutes, you know? Yep. Yeah. So you recovered over the week.
Yeah.
I think we all recovered over the week. And now we have to look at what is The Last of Us without Joel.
Well, yeah, and see how Ellie recovers now. So.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. That's who you play in the game.
A lot of burned bodies.
It's gonna take some shovels, dude. Where do you put all that? Is it a mass grave somewhere? Or you just burn it?
Find that hole they all climbed out and put them back in there. It's gonna take the watch.
Give Sarah my love.
Don't look at me.
Dang it. That's the second playable character that just died. Sarah was the first.
Thanks for reminding me.
I know, I explored that house so much. Thinking like, oh, I'm gonna take us all in for the, you know, build this character up.
What's your room like?
I did that!
Oh, damn. I didn't realize how hurt she was. Maybe the cold. I don't know.
I can give you something.
Ellie! Ellie! Here.
She has a port.
I'm training up this arm. Not enough training.
Not enough training. 3 months later.
Today's the day.
So can I just...
Almost. I just need you to see one more person, then you're good to go.
She's been in here the whole time.
I guess.
Man.
For fuck's sake.
Yep.
How are you doing?
Fine.
If you say it that fast, it kind of implies you're not. In my last moment with Joel, he said he wronged you.
What is it that he said that he did?
Well, that's the thing. It didn't really make sense. He said, I saved her.
Man, I wish I could have let him off the hook for whatever it was he was talking about. I guess I'll have to let myself off the hook for that.
Well, you really are doing good. If everyone were as healthy as you, what would I do for weed and booze?
I wouldn't worry, Gail. There's still a lot of fucked up people in this town.
Yeah, but not you, though.
Not you, though.
Mm-hmm. I love an actor that gets better every time you see them.
You mean this little girl who was little...
Well, yeah, but I was talking about Kevin's mom, dude.
Kevin's mom?
Yeah, every time I see her, like, she's in a better scene. She just has a career trajectory that keeps going.
Oh, that's cool.
Tommy. That's a lot of gun. I'd be hesitant to use it in that.
Hesitant? I mean, you
gotta, you know.
Yeah, but
a lot of people want to use that like this, and you shoot once, and you're just like, oh fuck, you know.
You shoot all hand pistols like this.
I know, but I often will have a machete when being attacked by zombies, so or a spear or something. So I want something one-handed.
Okay, well you can do that. If I'm holding a machete, I'm gonna use something with like a magazine so I can reload faster. Considering I have a machete in the other hand, and maybe more bullets.
Yeah, maybe like a shield, you know.
Shield and a machete
could be cool.
Oh, okay.
I like all the loadouts. Man, I'm trying to dissociate from this emotion.
You trying to ignore her being sad?
No, I know this feeling. I know this feeling of going through a parent's stuff and feeling like there is no trash here. You know, like I failed at this job before even starting. I can't throw anything away.
Shit! Hurry up! Drop your tears. Throw some in your face.
I know most of their names, and I know where they're from. Please just listen. The doctors told me not to upset you.
I don't give a fuck.
And I knew that if I told you where they were, you'd just start pulling your tubes out and crawling on your hands and knees to get there.
I don't give a fuck.
And then it occurred to me that if you want to find someone, and the only thing you know about them is where they're going to end up, maybe let them get there. The dark-haired guy was Manny. The other guy was Owen.
The girl with the dark hair and the bald one of them's named Nora. I'm not sure which.
The girl with the braid.
Abby.
Abby. Who else knows?
Just us.
No.
I wasn't going to tell anyone before you.
Tell Tommy and tell that one guy who's like young and strong. Whatever his name was. Peace offering cookie, have one.
Cookies can solve any tension. Name some type of tension that a cookie can't solve. Go.
Sexual.
Nope. It works.
What?
Now what?
Oh my god, it works.
Water. Water tension.
Milk. Milk tension.
Milk tension?
Milk tension.
But if we're gonna put a posse together, we gotta do it right. Which means taking it to Maria. Yes, it's fucking necessary. She's gonna want a council meeting, open it up to the town. Everyone who wants to get heard gets heard.
But you'll back us, right?
Of course I will.
I want to blame Abby on the attack on the town too, but there was also that pipe root stuff too, which might have just caused it to happen anyway, you know?
Yeah, but she caused it to happen sooner.
I don't know. They didn't turn on the town until like, you know? Who's this guy?
Show off.
They all have like these jaw scars.
They all really like the Dark Knight.
Understand what we're giving you now. Keep you far, far safer than a hammer. Distance.
From home.
From war.
From war. Uh-oh. That's a bad whistle.
Take cover!
Demons?
Wolves.
The wolves or wolves?
All right. Good, but rotate. More. Now the right side.
Like the Matrix poster.
Next is Carlisle.
Is that Seth?
People came and killed Joel. So why wouldn't we want to take our vengeance? Forgive and be forgiven. No grudges, no revenge. Our capacity for mercy.
Those sons of bitches don't deserve our mercy.
Well, of course they don't deserve it. That's what makes it mercy.
Well, to hell with that. My God, somebody shoots your brother. You want to take the locks off your doors? Grow up! You idiots. They'll come back. They'll come back because we didn't make them pay.
Bunch of goddamn victims.
What Ellie thinks about that.
I want justice. Because it's either that, or we do nothing. That's what everyone else out there is going to do for us. We have a word for these people. They're called strangers. Well, I don't think that we're strangers to each other. And I want to know that I can count on you. And I swear, if someone hurts any of you, or the people you love, you can count on me. That's what holds all this together. Do what it takes to see that justice is done.
The council will now vote on the proposal to send a party of 16 citizens to Seattle to find the people who killed Joel and execute them.
Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, 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 no. The vote is 8-3. The proposal is rejected.
It's a short game, huh? Why are you putting bullets in there?
Oh, get a proper holster. Oh. Shoot your ass off.
That was probably less likely to shoot off than like some other guns.
Who is it?
Dina.
She has a backpack with like 3 guns and ammo. I wonder what she's doing.
So, what's your plan?
Go to Seattle and kill Abby.
What route?
Northwest?
And is that all guns, or do you have medical supplies in there? No?
All guns?
Is that Joel's? That's what you're gonna kill him.
Fucking right.
And save it for that. Slow and kicks like hell. Really? Shoot your damn ass
Oh, I
off?
love Dina. I love her so much.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, how the fuck are we gonna get all of this?
I know, guy.
Oh no. No, don't tell me you told Jesse, please.
Captain Wyoming? No. I love the man, but he's a little uptight about rules and shit. Wear all the clothes you're gonna bring. Fill your pockets
Seth.
with ammo.
Doesn't Seth run like food and stuff?
Yeah, you could have just asked.
No, I actually didn't know that.
Now you do.
Be interesting. I want to know Seth's point, because if he is helping and he gives like stuff like that, he went from being against them to now being like they're the only fucks who will go and make them pay. You know, like.
Yeah.
trade. It's better. Trade.
Let me know if you see any outcroppings or spots with cover.
Why? It looks okay. Holy shit, that came on fast. How the fuck did you know that was gonna happen?
I'm a witch.
Clearly.
Hope the horse is okay.
Well, good night.
Night. It's about New Year's Eve and, you know, the kid.
Whatever, you were super high.
And you were drunk.
Okay, fine, 6.
Fuck you, 6.
That's not bad. That sucks.
Above average.
For the record, I don't believe you.
We shouldn't rate things.
Well, you asked, and I told you. I'm sorry.
Alright, that opinion of 5.
You can...
I didn't ask.
Ellie? It wasn't that high.
Wasn't that drunk?
Oh, dang it. Better get a line back. I said.
In theory, we'll come out near Highway 5.
What's this?
Just north of the city.
Oh.
Are these the people we saw randomly earlier?
Dina!
Oh, no. What'd she find? It's not the rest of them. Dang. Dude, the wolves did this? Aw, I wrote down Constance's name.
Well.
Wow. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking Seattle.
Oh my god.
Pretty.
Told me to watch 6 and 8. Now they want fucking 3 and 5.
Man, do you copy?
Just give me a
they're at the needle. That's cool.
It's a pretty good spot to look from, I guess, right?
You're all good. We can move up.
It's a lot of steps.
I really thought this episode was going to end already.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was going to end at the graveyard.
Yeah. Oh. Is that a little tank? Like APC? Well, shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, man. You guys got gas for this?
They have to refine the gas still, right?
They got like a little army.
I don't think 16 people would have done it.
I don't know that 2 people were gonna do it, but at least they're a little stealthier.
Alright. Well, how do you feel about the show after Joel?
I mean, yeah, you gotta have time.
Yeah.
Ellie healing and stuff, I get that. But like I said before, I think it's interesting to have, like, Seth be an outspoken member of, like, we need to go and make them pay. Versus, like, the other people who are talking about, you know, we need to watch it for ourselves, who's gonna watch the wall, all that kind of stuff. But Ellie's speech also worked where she wants not vengeance, but justice. If people come and do this, do we always just forgive them and let it go? Do people keep coming and doing this and we let it go? Or, you know, that's kind of her and Seth both on that point. But to have Seth be the person who was at the party and didn't like that they were kissing, to then be the only one really, well, I guess there's someone else who gave him a horse, but the only one really trying to support them on going out and doing this too. I was like, well, that's interesting to have him kind of really go from like being antagonistic towards them to being more of an like
the last
friend.
I mean, we saw Joel push him to the floor, you know.
Yeah, and we watched him apologize as well. You know, Ellie didn't necessarily accept it.
Yeah,
but there was an apology there, which I don't know how authentic his apology really was. You know, if he really meant it, or if it was more of like a everyone says I need to apologize and I better apologize.
Sure,
but no, I don't know. I wasn't sure what that other group was. I don't know if more of that group is going to matter, if that's all of the group. They said they were trying to make distance from war.
Yeah.
So I don't know where...
Like they were maybe nomadic?
Well, like, were they heading towards where, like, Ellie was coming from? Is that the route they were going? And they were hiding, or what? Because maybe they were leaving Seattle from the wolves, because they said the wolves were what were coming. So... how bad is it in Seattle? What all are they doing?
Yeah, they all had cheek scars.
Yeah.
And they followed the teachings of a person named the Prophet, who has been dead for 10 years, but they still follow their teachings.
Yeah. Religion in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're scarring their cheeks up.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's more of a... maybe it's part of their religion type of thing with the prophet, but maybe it's also you can recognize them.
Maybe.
Like you are one of our people, like quickly. That little girl was not scarred, but still like red, like she had recently done it.
You think that's from the prophet, or is that their group's quirk?
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if it's religion related.
Yeah,
like, you could have it where like the prophet had those scars, so to like, I don't know, to kind of like show that you're part of that religion or whatever, you do the same thing. But like also it could just be as soon as you see someone with those scars, you know that they're one of your people kind of thing too. But I mean, depending on how desperate people are, they could just do that and be like, hey, I'm one of you, and then kill them all. You know, so I don't know. You could have that with anything though, I suppose.
If you had like little holes in your cheeks, could you whistle out of them?
I don't think so, because you can't like I don't know how well you could flex those to whistle. You know what I mean? You have holes in your nose, you don't whistle out of that.
Yeah. I mean, some people can really work their cheeks, you know?
Yeah, but you gotta be able to like open and tighten those holes. I don't know how easy. Like,
I just imagine having like 2 holes here and then your whole here and going and just whirr with that whistle, you know?
I don't think it works.
Oh, you could, man. It has some like advanced whistle techs, you know?
Yeah, but you gotta be able to like tighten and loosen. I don't know if you could.
I've seen some people do some amazing things, you know? They could tighten their cheeks up. You don't know.
I don't know. I like the conversation about, oh, you just got guns? Like, where's your medical supplies? Where's this? Which way you going? Northwest?
Yeah.
When you're planned journey northwest.
Dina is like Hermione. Like, what would you do without her?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything without her. Yeah, she has the list. She has the forethought. She's thinking. Because, I mean, it's what Gail said. Like, Gail says, like, oh, this is, Ellie said this is justice, not revenge. Gail called her a liar. And I think that Dina sees it, too, and is going to be there for her friend. But probably feels it as well, that burning revenge.
Is the lie on the whole of the note? Or is the lie on the idea that she would listen to the council? Like, is the lie on the idea that this isn't revenge, it's about justice? Like, what aspects of it is the lie or whatever, too?
Yeah.
Because, like, I could see her saying, like, I don't want revenge, I want justice because Joel died unjustly, you know? He saved her and then she killed him. But this also stems from back whenever, so the Abby was looking at the same thing. Like, Joel came in and killed all these people and killed my dad, and she also wanted justice, but...
Yeah,
is
I
it
think
justice or is it revenge, you know?
Sure. Generally, when people are killed in the name of justice, they're killed quickly, and as you know, there's no like Abby enjoyed it.
Sure,
that was revenge, you know. And what do you think?
Well, what's Ellie gonna do?
What would Ellie do if she had a hold of Abby right now?
She has the gun for Joel. Will she just like end it, or would she make it? You know, longer. You know, golf club and
I'm not saying like there's a fine line between those two things. There's obviously some muddied waters between justice and revenge, but I don't know. She like Dina knew if she said anything like while she was in the hospital, she would have immediately gone. You know, like there's if it's passion, if it's justice, it's gonna be passionate justice. Yes.
Yeah.
But I do like that Dina. I mean, I don't know. I've always felt like people universally have loved that character, and I think that she has a really hard job, which is like fill in Joel's shoes as like our two people traveling pair. You know, I think she does it flawlessly. She's exactly what Ellie needs, but not like Joel at all.
Well, she's kind of. I mean, if you have Ellie as your character or whatever that you're mainly playing as, similar to how you played Joel, like Ellie there is the Dina, right? Like the asking questions or talking about things. Like Joel would have just probably rode all the way to where he was going and not said a thing. You know? Like that would have been Joel, but Ellie's the one who's like, oh, what's this? What about that? You know, and talking about things. And then here's what Dina's doing too. Might really have to go through all the whole alphabet. You know, tell me first person you killed. You know, like she's just bringing up similar things, I think.
Sure.
So she kind of more so reflects, I think, younger Ellie from the first game. While Ellie is now the Joel character.
Yeah. I did love Gail's line that it's more, you know, people think that nurture is more prevalent, but it's really a lot of nature. Those two were just walking side by side from the start. Yeah. I really like that line, you know? I mean, the father-daughter feel, I think, is still there.
Sure.
But that is Joel kind of putting a lot of his trauma on that relationship, making it feel that way. Whereas Ellie's going to feel that as well, but it's important not to discount that those two were just very compatible companions at those moments in their lives.
Sure. Oh, and it goes more, too, with the Dina thing that I was saying about where Ellie is the Joel here. Like, they were both walking the same path, just next to each other. Like, now he's not there, but she's still that same path as well. And then I don't know. We'll see what kind of story unfolds more with Dina and Ellie. But they had that tent moment. They're talking about their kiss and stuff too. There was like a moment with Ellie where it felt like I kind of want to talk to her or say something or do something, but I better not. I'm too afraid to kind of do that. And then she brings it up too, and
you almost I kind of get the feeling that Ellie doesn't have as much experience, or feels like her experience is inadequate.
Well, sure, yeah.
Compared to Dina. I don't know if Dina's thinking about that.
She was born in this kind of world too, right? I don't know about Dina, but Dina might have lived longer in Jackson than Ellie, who was in and out, on the move, you know, traveling. I forget what all she did from, you know, we saw in last season her birth. Yeah. And what's her name was there of the Fireflies, I think, right? Like, I don't know what all she lived through there, but how much time did she have relationship wise, except for their school thing that she did where there was like that other girl. And they went to the mall and that stuff. So meanwhile, Dina may have had more too as far as like relationships, or maybe not as rigid of a military school system thing living in Jackson. But I also don't know how long she's lived in Jackson or what her past has necessarily been like. But I'm glad that Jackson was able to like start rebuilding. I hope they can figure out if they're gonna plant corn. You know, I don't really have an opinion on Seattle.
It's a very useful crop. I mean, it doesn't digest super well, but it's extremely useful for ethanol purposes.
Sure.
I mean, you mentioned here, it's like, oh, well, they have vehicles, so they still must be producing gas somehow.
Yeah, I mean, the tanks and stuff. Like, I don't remember how long it's been since they've been. I mean, Joel was younger, so it's been
20 years since the world crashed. So I know that they kept, like, the military kept going and stuff like that, but things have slowly just stopped more and more and more as time goes on.
Like, the gasoline sitting inside tanks of stuff is going to get worse.
It goes bad
after not be useful. So there's something that you're going to have to do to be able to use vehicles like this, you know, tens and tens of years in the future.
Yeah.
So they must have something, some kind of processing, whether it's corn, I would assume is probably the easiest thing if you can get it to run on that.
Well, we have a horse, Shimmer. to counteract all of that.
Yeah.
Who has traveled long distances with 2 people on their back and all the resources, and it's gonna be a tired horse.
You like to bring that up.
It's a very, I always think about, like, man, that horse is tired. Imagine you putting all that show on your back and walking up a mountain, you know?
Like 2 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a horse.
I mean...
There's a reason we measure cars and horsepower.
Yeah, and they got one horsepower. How many horsepower your truck got?
That's why they went slower. They didn't run. They took time. I don't know how long it took them. Yeah. But, like, from Jackson, Wyoming to Seattle on 1 horse.
Yeah.
I mean, how far is that?
You know, like, man,
look it up.
Like, the people that would, race their horses with communications, like, they would take 2 horses, so they could give one a break, Like, I'm just gotta... Why you give him a name, too, I'm just getting attached.
Yeah, it's 870 miles or so. That's a while.
That's a while. Where you get averaging on a horse.
13 hours by car, but...
Yeah, but like a horse on a trail is what, 25 miles a day?
Let's say bicycle. It's probably closer, right?
Yeah, sure.
Ish. That's 76 hours.
Yeah.
If you just straight.
I mean, that's assuming roads and stuff are clear and people haven't,
Walking is 316.
Yeah.
So it's probably somewhere between 76 and 316.
Probably. Giving the horse enough rest.
Also, like, that's whatever route it did. I don't know what route they did too. Going through mountains or something, maybe.
Yep.
But I didn't find any opposition. No, I thought maybe like the journey there was going to be part of the series, but we got to Seattle real quick.
We did. We're here. There's a lot of story to get through. I'm curious, if you were a leader of Jackson, what would you have voted?
I don't know. I think maybe like at least sending a scouting group to see what's in Seattle or something, like a smaller group like this to kind of like get an idea of what's there. Yeah. Because we don't know how
just
many people
information, but not like.
I mean, the same thing with them sending their 5 or whatever they did, like Abby's group. Like once you got there, you're like, they have walls, they have this, they have this. Like maybe you send a small group, get some ideas of what's there, and report back to be like, is this still something you want to do or not? Because like Rachel said, sending 16 of your best and you have no one left to defend. Yeah. Like you get there, you see they have tanks and jeeps and an army, and you might be like, you know what? We don't want to lose all these people. We are not well enough equipped for this. So
you'd vote no?
I'd change it.
Well, you have to vote no and then change it.
Okay, I vote no and then I change it.
You vote no. Okay. I can't believe you vote no. Joel was our for no. Should that be our poll? What would you vote?
Would you have voted yes or no? All right, that's fine. What would you have voted?
I would have voted no too. 16 people, like you're saying, like as like the front. Like if that fails, we're just done. I would do some type of like scouting thing.
Yeah, I feel like you need more information.
I would have done that 3 months ago.
Yeah, maybe.
I would have sent someone, like 1 or 2 people trying to like chase them, find them, But yeah, on this plan, I would probably say no as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's wiser.
Yep. Well, that's what we think. Make sure you're going over and voting in the council meeting at blindwave.com.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed Last of Us with us today. We will be back next week with the next episode, so make sure you subscribe as we watch this live. And go over and you can find blindwave.com. You can vote. Tell us if you would have voted yes or no. Why would you have voted yes or no? And you can also check out full length while you're over there. See you guys next week.